As long as the banner doesn't fall, we're in good shape. Okay. Do you need anything? Something to drink? Nothing. You good? Okay. Announcements. I don't know what's going on. Yes, I will shut that off. Here. Get my cup back. Can the laptop go to the left a little bit? That's good. Okay. How much of that did you watch? I like that song. Okay, just if I'm gonna be talking to you, then like let me ask you questions and you can say what we've been looking at.
Yeah. Nope.
What? It's all pulp. It's nasty. It's like.
Where is he stopping the song?
Put that on speaker for a second. I don't know. Use his best judgment. I trust him.
Use your best judgment.
Fine.
Let the camera hear
Well,
him.
no, actually, I can't say that about Valera. The reason I say Valera's in the business. I usually say like a minute anyway, just to let it go.
Tell everybody we say hi.
Oh, tell everybody there that we say hi.
Hey guys, Kevin said hi, everybody. Hi, Kevin. Hey, Kev. They can hear you.
Oh. I thought you still had me on, like, not
the video.
loud.
No,
video.
I have to have you on. I always put you on speaker before I put you on a team here.
Alright, video camera can hear them, so we're even.
Oh, so excellent for your high-end then? You ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go.
Did you play the
Hello everybody and welcome to the Kevin Storm Show. Today we are broadcasting live from my kitchen. And today we're going to do something new. My mom's actually going to be kind of interviewing me, so let's...
Well, do you have any birthdays?
No, because when we did birthdays last week, we pushed too far forward, and then none of the birthdays that we found this week are vegan. So
but somebody's birthday was Friday.
Quincy.
Alright, happy birthday, Quincy from New York. She's well known for her costumes at the Veggie Pride Parade, and she has this really cool hat with a big thing of fruit on top of it. And last year, I think she won because she had the
No, that was this
doctor
year.
coat. Oh,
that was this year.
The apron with the blood all over it. Okay, she was a butcher or something, right? Yeah, that was. But she won, so right.
Yeah.
Okay, and got a nice gift certificate. So can't wait to see what we're gonna do for next year. We gotta start planning something and make it homemade, because that's what Pamela Rice wants. She wants homemade costumes, well thought out, impressive, unique. Okay. So
I have an idea.
What?
We could take like a giant piece of poster board and just draw like a tornado on it, and then like sew it onto something and put a little hole through for my face, and that could be the storm.
You're so silly. Okay, so why don't you mention real quick about the banner behind you, because it's on the video.
Yeah, this is our new banner. This is our 6-foot banner that Bob Heisler, our loan sponsor, made for us. It's a really nice banner. It says The Kevin Storm Show, and then it lists all the information at the top. WNJC 1360 AM, Sundays noon to 12:30 ET.
Eastern time?
Oh, Philadelphia's Renaissance Radio. Listen online. Listen online at WNJCradio.com.
Right, you got the right website, yeah.
Okay. And then it lists some different websites. It's my website, njfarmanimalsave.com, saneonline.org, koreandogs.org, dolphinproject.org, and no2dogmeat.com.
Very cool. And it's got 2 pictures on it. One of you at the radio station and one putting flyers out for the koreandogs.org
in front of H Mart.
Yeah, Hanaram Market. It's a Korean market in Cherry Hill off of Route 70 East, right before the 295 ramp.
And at the bottom it says sponsored by Bob Heisler.
Who is a really cool dude who likes to spend lots of money shipping things.
Who, if we hopefully can raise enough money by December, we will be going down to Florida to meet a whole bunch of people.
If you look at the Kevin Storm Show on Facebook, we now have a calendar of events. So anytime we take the show on the road, you'll see the announcement say, taking the show on the road with the location of where we're going to be.
Right.
So Florida is December 13th, right?
Yeah. We'll be going down there to meet Bob Heisler, Camille Marino, and a friend of mine. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you can leave it at that.
Yeah,
and,
that's what I was going to do.
We also have one set up for New York.
We do.
For the People's Climate March.
Which is?
And that is September 21st. And we'll be there early, hopefully. I don't know whether we're going to drive up or take public transport or carpool. I guess it depends on who else is going. I know our friend Doris is going. And how did you find out about the Climate March?
Our friend from VSSJ,
and New Jersey
Melody
Vegan Families.
Lynn?
And New Jersey Vegan Families. Yep. Melody told you.
She told me about that on Facebook, and we found it. And we thought it would be cool to do a show from that because it seems like something that there's going to be a lot of vegan people at.
Yeah, I think the conversation started where you wanted to interview her and basically about kids' school lunches and things like that and kid activists, and she told you about that, and I think that's a really cool idea to go up there. We've been in touch with people that are going to be up there and maybe doing some volunteering before the actual show that you do. We can do some things for them.
Speaking of school, I go back to school either Wednesday or Thursday, and I am both looking forward to and not looking forward to going back because rather than having 7 periods a day, I now have 9.
Yeah, that's rough. And I'm not sure. I know your lunch is 6 periods, so my concern is what time that is and what you eat for breakfast.
I had lunch 5th period this past 7th grade, and that was at like 12. So 6th period is probably like 1:30.
Well, now as far as meals, obviously I know you don't like eating breakfast, but I know you'll eat a banana or an apple on the way to the bus, so maybe I could make you some breakfast bars. There's tons of really good recipes online of, breakfast bars that are real high in fiber, and you can add any kind of fruit or chocolate, something like that, something simple, breakfast cookies with just oatmeal, whatever.
It's not that I don't like eating breakfast, it's just that I've gotten into the loop where I have a half an hour to get ready and leave, and then I have to go and wait at the bus stop for a couple minutes while I'm waiting for the bus. And just that groove that I've gotten into, I don't have time to eat breakfast, so it's usually just a piece of fruit. We found out that Belvita was vegan, so I would usually take a pack of them.
The hard ones.
Most are.
And the berry
but usually
soft
it's just a banana that my mom leaves on the counter for me, and then I just wait at the bus stop.
Okay. And you like peaches too. So as far as lunch, we talked about what you would want for lunch, and we came across a lot of recipes for different types of wraps and things like that. Spring roll wraps, tortilla wraps. So I think it's a pretty good idea. I think packaging is always an issue of how to keep it cold enough, long enough, make it lightweight. Carrying an ice bottle is too heavy in a lunchbox.
Not really. It wasn't that big a deal, but I don't know.
While we were looking at recipes, we found a website for this woman. Do you know how to say her name? Bhavna?
Bhavna's Kitchen?
It's spelled B-H-A-V-N-A. Bhavna's Kitchen. And she's a lovely woman. And she makes a lot of Indian food. She also makes Americanized kind of food. I mean, her kids were making a pizza. Her children she has 2 boys, and they also have their own little channel where they're doing cooking. The oldest boy is cooking. And he made a pizza. And I thought it was really nice. I didn't realize until later that he made the crust out of actual slices of bread, and he cut them in heart shapes and put the 4 hearts together like a clover. But when you see how he put the veggies together, it's really nice. Now, you do use dairy cheese, so of course we would use Daiya cheese or Vegan Gourmet, something like that. But I don't know if something like that would work in a lunch. If you wanted it crunchy, it's not going to be crunchy by the time you get there. So wraps are a good idea, and lots of fruit. Crackers, something like that.
I don't know, something easy.
When you get a chance, check out Bhavna's Kitchen. She is on Facebook, and she's on YouTube, and there are so many recipes. I could not believe how many recipes she had, and everything looks really good. It's very adaptable to vegan. She's vegetarian, and she does everything from her kitchen at home, and she speaks very clearly. She enunciates everything. She's very sweet. It's very easy to understand. Everything's very simple, basic. If she mentions an ingredient that is just Indian, like, she'll explain what it is, what you can substitute with it, which is really nice. And she there's some of them I actually saw it printed out on the screen, and she gets a lot of good positive feedback for her channel, and I think it's really great to find somebody that does that with ease and with a very nice tone of voice. She's very understandable, and that's what I like the best. So you watched a couple of them, so you want to try some of her recipes?
Yeah, that'd be cool. As far as the way that they were made, we could maybe try and find an easier way to do that, considering sometimes we don't have a lot of time to cook. Because now you're getting more local work, so you're getting home around a couple hours after I am, but that's still not much time to actually cook actual meals. We usually just do something quick. Gardein comes in handy a lot, because you can make a meal with that in about 10-15 minutes. We've actually done a lot. I made some sort of a weird looking pizza thing with the Gardein chicken fingers, and that was really good, but it
what else
tasted
did you
better
put
than
on it, though?
I also had
you shredded a
Go
cucumber?
Veggie cheese slices, and I shredded some cucumber. I probably shredded about half a cucumber, but it actually ended up being pretty good.
It's unique.
It didn't look very good, though.
You poured ketchup over it. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so mention the song.
I didn't have pizza sauce.
What song was that you started with today?
That was Loud and Clear by Folkstar. The video is on the page under the announcement for today's show if you would like to go and listen to the full song.
And you found out about Folkstar last week?
Through Roxanne Curtright or
New Jersey.
North Carolina. North Carolina Farm Animal Save.
Yeah.
Catlandia Jones or Roxanne Curtright.
The Catlandia Jones thing is her feline cat rescue. That's how she's listed on Facebook. So, hi Roxanne, if you're listening. Very great meeting you. I can't wait to come back down there. I really like that place where we ate too.
It was great to see Michael and Marilyn again. We got to spend the entire weekend with them. We got to bring our friend Lisa, and she really enjoyed that.
Hi Lisa.
If you're listening.
Yeah, she might be. She'll see the video later. Yeah. She's a busy girl. Oh, and I have a video of her singing in the car, and she wasn't aware that I was recording, and I have every intention of posting that on her Facebook page, and she'll be mad at me. But that's okay, because she'll get over that. When she knows she's being listened to, she sings extremely well, and in this particular case, she had headphones on, and that's usually not a good thing.
So. Yeah, usually people are really loud when they have headphones on. I remember when I was little and I put earbuds in and I was listening to music. And somebody said something to me, I could barely hear them, and then when I spoke, I couldn't hear myself at all. So I started screaming so that I could actually hear myself at the normal volume that I would if I hadn't had them in. And I'm looking at my mom, and she's like saying, "Stop, stop, stop! You're yelling!" And I'm like, "Oh, what?" And I took one of them out, and I was like, "Wow, that's really loud."
We have friends that do music videos, and some of them are very sweet, entertaining, artistic, and then there are others that are very challenging to watch sometimes, a little awkward, uncomfortable, but the perseverance and the message behind all of them is promoting veganism, health, prevention of cruelty towards animals of all kinds. And we have one particular friend that we met at Veggie Pride Parade, and I thought that he was an interesting character because he showed up in New York dressed in a giant chicken suit, and he spray painted on the front of it, "Don't eat me," something like that. And he was so sweet, and I'm glad we got pictures because, you know, who knows if he's ever going to make it back down here again. But would you like to mention that?
Huh? Oh, yeah. What was it again?
The article?
Oh, yeah. The article is titled, "The Lusty Vegan Activist Makes Creepy Videos About Vegans Being Better in Bed," and it's on IEatgrass.com. It's about our friend John Sakars and some of his
racy
videos, creative video titles and themes.
I think polite people would say they're vulgar, but they are amusing to no end. I have sometimes laughed myself into tears watching some of his things. And he's put us in a few of his videos, and
he put you in one of them.
Yeah, there's a picture of the two of us.
That one was very interesting.
It was very interesting. It's called "I Want to Lick Your Face," and it was very embarrassing. I didn't know
until somebody showed you.
He sent me messages saying that he did it and if it was okay, and it was already on the internet by the time I got the messages, and it was very embarrassing. But I thought it was funny enough to show some people, and they got a good laugh out of it. I showed it to some people at a construction site, and they were hysterical. But the idea is that's going to stick in their mind, and maybe they'll go back and look again. And then, of course, it mentions repeatedly the word vegan. And you can't, like most people say, you can't unlearn. So that word's stuck in their head, and they'll start hearing it in other places and wonder what the heck it's about. And, you know, just the concept of nonviolence and not wanting to cause harm to the innocent others, you know, the beings that we share this planet with. You know, I think that's really a good thing to promote. So people that get angry with you for promoting it, or they get sarcastic or critical of you for being vegan, are really just saying that they'd rather be violent. And that's really sad. So, you know, I mean, it's one thing to have a boxing match like Cam F. Awesome, you know, and for a prize, you know, to like actually compete with someone that's fighting you because they want to, as opposed to sneaking around, you know, shooting little fuzzy bunnies. And, you know, I'm not saying I didn't do that. You know, I did that.
Yeah, but you weren't, like, as informed as you are today, so that part of your history...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I don't do that anymore. I've been vegan for a really long time, and...
15 years?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, because, I mean, if you're talking about ethically, and then things that we do that are not vegan, you know, you might eat a cookie that has something in it that's not vegan. I mean, if there's a chocolate chip in it, and that has a tiny bit of dairy in it, I mean, it doesn't mean that you've completely fallen off the wagon.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's a cookie. It's not every meal all day long. So, like, you don't have to beat yourself up because you ate a piece of candy that might have had a little gelatin in it.
I, unfortunately, one time I trusted my Nana to prepare me breakfast, and she poured a bowl of cereal for me, and somehow she confused a cardboard box with a plastic jug, and she put dairy milk on my cereal.
Stinky.
But it had been so long, that was like a year after I went vegan, but it had been so long and I'd forgotten what dairy milk tasted like. So when I was eating my cereal, it tasted different, but I just figured that, okay, well, this is a different brand of almond milk.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was, and then I was really getting confused, so I double-checked with her. I said, you made sure to put almond milk on this, right? And then she acted so surprised that she accidentally put dairy on on my cereal. But anyway.
Well, accidents do happen, but that's kind of
that's kind of hard to mistake.
Well, anyway, so like for our house, we just make sure that nothing comes into the house that's not vegan. And I've talked to people who are vegan, but their family is not. And, you know, as far as, I guess it is easier being a single parent in the household where you have control over what comes in and out. and you can say no animal products in the house.
Right.
You know, in her case, or in other people that are in mixed families like that, you know, you have to kind of negotiate sometimes where you know that they're going to bring things in the house that you don't want. Keep them in a separate fridge. We had a mini fridge for a while that we used because someone stayed here that didn't like our food, and I said, fine, but I don't want your stuff near my stuff, and I don't want to see it, smell it, taste it, you know. So there you go. It's temporary. Just you know, that was fun. It was more of a financial thing at the time because I know not to touch something that's not mine in the fridge. But
Right.
but as far as dealing with, like, how would you deal with that if you were the only vegan in a household and you
Well,
know?
in that case, I am. Over at
Well,
my...
yeah, but you don't do the shopping. You know
I
what I'm
know.
saying? So if you had a choice, I mean, you're not, you know, as far as I'm concerned, an ethical vegan is not going to put their money into something or actually purchase something that's not vegan just because they want it. I mean, that drives me nuts. If you don't want it in the house and you don't choose it personally, then if they want it, they can go buy it and they can bring it in the house.
Right.
It seems like a black and white thing that I'm saying, and I realize that most people would rather see the gray area of like, oh, well, they're trying to help them change. I'm sorry, but I'm black and white where this is concerned, because if you're vegan, for ethical reasons, then you're not going to spend your money on something like that.
Exactly.
You're not going to make allowances. It's no different than saying, you know, if you're dealing with an alcoholic, if you're sober, you're not going to go buy alcohol just because they still drink and put it in the fridge. It doesn't work that way.
Right, because then it's going to be tempting to, like, want to go back and...
Right. They need to go get their own stuff if they want it that bad, you know? And it always bugs me about the whole burger non-meatloaf thing. I mean, like, if you want to make something and you put it on a table, just because someone is what they call them, all right, whatever, omnivore, if they want to eat, they're not going to say no to eat that just because there's no blood in it, because there's no fat in it, there's no bone in it, whatever. You know, like, are they really going to turn it down? I've seen people do that. It cracks me up. They'll actually turn something down because you say it's vegan. Give them a vegan burger. Oh, no, I'm not going to eat that. What's going to happen to you if you eat a vegan burger? Are you really going to die? No, you might poop your brains out, but I mean,
you
you're
could
not
set up
used
an
to it.
experiment. You could put a cupcake here and just title it cupcake, and then you could put another one and say vegan cupcake.
Mm-hmm.
But if you both make them vegan, and then you could see which one they pick up.
You know what? Somebody did Green Medley in Morristown Mall. Wonderful place. They got great vegan food. I know that they have a couple of ingredients that are not, and they make that clear. But they are definitely vegetarian, and most of their stuff is all vegan.
Great Reuben.
They have great food. But they had pastries, I guess you could say, cupcakes, brownies, things like that, on the counter out front. They had little signs that said vegan. And they said they weren't selling very well, so they cut the word vegan off the signs, and they sold better, which is really, that's just a mental thing, you know?
Right.
But anyway.
It's just 'cause some people are afraid of new.
Right, well, yeah, anything new, or they think, I don't know what the mental block is, that it's going to change me somehow.
They get used to, okay, this food has to be this way with this in it, and then when they see, oh, this is a different way of making it, and this is better, oh, well, they're not going to want to change.
I'm happy to see now that we went back in there and they put the word vegan back on the sign. And I think that's really sweet.
And it's still selling.
Yeah, they're fine. The food is always fantastic. I mean, anytime we're standing there and people are walking by and they're inquisitively looking at the menu or whatever, I just tell them, look, everything here is great. The soup's great. I mean, it's not like no one's ever made a pot of minestrone soup for them, you know, and said, here, eat this. Oh, but I'm sorry, I didn't put any fat or bone, blood, or anything in. I mean, come on, really? You're going to turn down good soup because there's nothing from an animal in it, which is ridiculous. People eat apples, you know, so have an apple. It's vegan.
I hate hearing people say that they don't eat anything vegan. Well, how is that possible? That means you've never once in your life touched a fruit, a vegetable, a legume, anything, a grain, anything like that.
Right. Don't eat it.
You've only eaten animals.
Corn. Right. It's crazy. It really is. Because, yeah, it's perception. That's all it is. The perception and the attitude is huge attitude. Like that sign that has the little pug dog and the pig, and it says, why eat one, why love one and eat the other, right? And it says the only difference is your attitude.
Right.
That's on the bottom of it. I cut that picture out of a video you did with New Jersey Farm Animal Save. Oh, you only have a few minutes, but I wanted you to mention these videos down here. Stephen Zivkoff Anderson asked you to take a look at a couple of these videos that had to do with...
one of them was World Wildlife Foundation. They did a side-by-side comparison of our world compared to nature's world, and how it's like 1 minute and 1 second long, and it's
profound.
Visually,
what's the word?
Like that everyone on the planet lives side by side. It's, yeah, like I said, it's basically a side-by-side comparison of our world compared to what's in nature, and how it's so much alike but so different at the same time.
Right. Well, we're very industrialized and we pollute a lot, and that.
And then there's another one about the World Wildlife Foundation and Prince Philip, something exposed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the actual title is Exposed WWF and Prince Philip, the World Wildlife Fund. And it was, you saw some of it. It was talking about them going hunting and just brutally killing things one after another. Animals. I didn't mean to say that.
You said, it would have been worse if you had said it.
No, I wouldn't do that. But, I mean, they specifically are talking about their hunting trips that they were taking and the brutality of it. And, the royal family, and how all the money that was funding the World Wildlife Federation, Foundation, sorry. All that money that was going into that was supposed to be for conservation, and they were using it to really just exterminate all these beautiful animals, rhinoceros and elephants, and, there was others. What did you see?
Well, like my mom said, I really didn't watch much of it. I got to about the 4-minute mark, and then we had to start the show. But I'm probably gonna continue watching from where we left off. If you can
as
go
far
back
as the
up, we scrolled past a picture on my page. It's got, again, another comparison. It's got America and Africa as two captions. One, it's got a whole bunch of people in America doing the ice bucket challenge and dumping gallons of water on their heads. And then it's got the picture that's captioned Africa, and it's got a little kid having to drink water out of, like, the cap of a bottle.
Yeah, they're very conservative with their clean water because it's so scarce. And, yeah, I mean, it's obvious. It just has the adult's hand holding this yellow cap and giving this little baby some water. It's like, they really don't have much, and there's reasons for that. I think most people just don't understand what's going on over there. Okay, so you have some plans.
We will be at the DC Veg Fest on September 20th.
Yes,
and we will also be on September 21st. We will be at the New York City People's Climate March.
That's a lot of transportation. In a
2
weekend.
days. Yeah.
DC.
First we'll be in DC, and then we'll be in New York. That's a lot of moving.
You need a taxi.
We need something that teleports.
That would be much better. Okay, you have some great things coming up. You have some awesome guests coming up. You found an English teacher and an animal rights activist. He's the founder of Evolve for Animals, Neil Segal. I think that's how it's pronounced. He'll be doing a show on September 14th. We're looking forward to that. And who else? There's another one. What the page does that? Oh, September 7th. Who's that?
September 7th, we will have guest Jan Smitowitz. He's the author of Orange Rain. And
yeah, we need to get that book, and we need to check it out. I've read the reviews for Orange Rain, and everybody just thinks it's absolutely fantastic. He's a very talented writer, and he seems like a really interesting person, so I think that's going to be a good guest.
But we've reached the end of the show, and we really hope you've enjoyed. This did go up quite quickly, so if Dean is there, he might have already started playing our song.
Also, check out What? Wait, mention this one last thing. Go to negotiationisover.net.
Go to negotiationisover.net.
We're going to close with the same song?
And, yeah, we're closing with What was it?
What was it called? You forgot already?
Something and Clear by Folkstar.
Oh, how could you forget?
Loud and Clear by Folkstar.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Dean started playing that.
And they're from Wilmington, North Carolina. So we'll talk to you all next week.
Yep. See you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Good job. Very nice. Good job hanging the banner. I'm glad it didn't break anything. Except the rubber
I had
band.
to use rubber bands.
Okay. We have other stuff to do. Can I go wash up and change and...
We need to leave.
We're going to GameStop.
Yeah.
You're still recording.
Uh-huh. I'm getting a new Xbox.
Well, new...
Compared to the one I have.
It might be new in the box, but it's not the newest version, so it's...
No, the newest version's probably a couple $100.
It'll work for what you need, because I went and bought Turtle Beaches not knowing that you didn't have an HD unit.
Well, that's what happens when you buy the oldest version of Xbox. Bye-bye.
Oh, no.